is up, people of YouTube? The old Mikey show. I'm back. Another quick episode. I'm I'm getting used to putting these out there. I kind of like them. Gotta have my coffee. Which brings this up. I don't know if anybody's ever seen something like this. I think these things are amazing. This one's called a Taurus. I guess it's like a camping coffee brewer. I don't know how you say it. You fill it up with water over here, and then inside here it's got the little holder where you put in your coffee, and then you put this on some form of heat. So that's why you can take it camping or whatever. Boils it, sends it through a little spout, filling this up, and you've got some great coffee, you know. And I really need coffee now. You know what really was sitting on my mind? Something that just irritating me is mechanics. You know, mechanics who fix your car. I just feel that they can be some of the most scummiest people in the world. You know, you can take your car in, and it can be for your lights. You know, I just want to fix my light. The one on the right, you know, it's flickering, or the the indicator isn't working right. Cool, sure, leave it here. You leave your car there. You pick it up. Hey, thanks guys. Thanks guys. The light's working. You know, no one's honking me on the road anymore. All good. Boom. The next day, the radiator's blown, or the car's leaking oil, or these are the type of things they do. And I mean, the first time I ever saw anything like that was in the movie Matilda with what's his name, Danny DeVito. He was Matilda's father. He was the scumbag, the mechanic, and he would turn the clock down for the miles or kilometers. He would do that. And so that was the first type of experience I had with it, where I saw, hey, okay, so this guy, he's trying to sell, I think he wasn't a mechanic. I think he sold cars, and he would turn the clock down. And so that was the first time I saw, like, sort of that bit of scumminess. Because, you know, then you look at it and you say, oh, this is just a movie. But then you grow up and you start seeing these things and you go, oh, you're Matilda's father, aren't you? And it happens to so many people, and it drives me insane. You know, it just like everything builds up inside me, and I'm just, ah! But with that being said, it's like, I feel people who take their cars into all these different places, you should really almost just take a picture of every part you have. Because something that they like to do is, and I saw this on another show, a South African show called Scheme Sam. Shout out Scheme Sam, one of the realest shows I've ever watched in my life. Normal soapy drama, where you take your car in, right? Cool. Then you get your car back. They needed to put in whatever part in. Look, I don't know much about cars, but I know what I see. You need that part changed. When you get your car back, all of a sudden now, this part they've taken your original part out, they've put in one of their ones in, and then, you know, so they can obviously sell that to someone else or put it in one of their own cars. And it's this type of scumminess that really gets to me, because why does everything have to be about, oh, how can I get what I want from this? What can I do to win here? Instead of that whole community thing of, you know, your fellow being. And I don't want to preach about it. Everybody's got weird things going on in their head. But it just seems like in today's world, everything is about how can I get my victory? How can I scheme? What scheme can I come up with to win? And it's just, now, you can say whatever you want about energy, and people talk about this and that and karma, and I always take everything with a pinch of salt. But how do you expect to have sort of good karma if you putting out this, you know, this sly energy, and then at the end of the day when things happen to you, you know, you're the one who's the most angry, and you're the one who completely pops your lid because you're the one who has been doing this to all these people, and when it happens to you, you want to get all upset. But it's like, why do it in the first place? Why can't you just show some form of sense of community and actually help people out? You know, you've got a craft that you're doing. You know, other people can't do it. It's why they go to you in the first place. But yet you standing there on the outside thinking, oh, what can I do to do this? What can I do to screw this person over? How can I get the biggest victory here? And I mean, it's one of the things that really upsets me. I really get upset about, because I'm not someone who will try to do that. For instance, this is the other, and my friends, they all criticized me for this, but I laughed it off. Good clean coffee. My friends, okay, there was this waitress. We were out on the weekend, always out on the weekend, going crazy. Should probably slow down on that. But anyways, we were out on the weekend, and now where I'm from, it's probably everywhere. People do promotions, you know. So like Hunter's Edge, Hunter's the drink. They have this other new bottle or something for Hunter's Edge. Quite nice. But the waitress didn't want the alcohol. So she bought, because you had to buy two and you could get like a t-shirt or a pair of earphones or whatever. She bought the two, but she didn't want the alcohol. So I think because she took so long with our drinks that she then came back to us and she was like, hey, do you want this? I just want the t-shirt or the earphones or whatever, or the cap, anything that they were giving away. She just said, do you want this? And I was like, sure, I'll drink, you know. Man's pockets are looking a bit empty. Give me something to drink, you know. Didn't you take like 15 minutes to bring my other stuff? But anyways, she brings it there, we're chilling. So now these promo girls come walking past. And they go, with all their prizes and things, and they go, oh, when did you buy that? What did you get? And I said, no, I didn't get anything. And so they said, oh, you can choose between this prize and the t-shirt and the earphones. And so I was looking at all this stuff, all the merch, and I was like, it's all whack. I mean, I've got these earphones. These are the iPhone earphones. Very good earphones. I have an Android phone, but I mean, when the quality of the sound is that pure, I know that you're not going to get a great sound from one of these earphones they give you in a promotion. It's going to be all snowy. But anyways, so I was looking at it and I was considering, hey, maybe I should just grab the earphones. And then it hit me that, you know, I'm pulling the wool over these girls' eyes. I'm acting like I bought the drinks in the first place and that nobody had gotten any merch from it. Whereas the waitress who was walking around, she already got this stuff. And so me and my friends, in the beginning, we were trying to scheme it, and I was thinking, and then I just stopped them in the middle of the whole conversation. I was just like, wait, I can't do this. Obviously, I had to add a little bit of flair to it because the promo girls are always, you know, magnificent. But anyways, I'm like, I can't do this. I'm sorry, guys. Like, just stop this. The waitress already got the merch. She just gave us these drinks, and so I'm not gonna take it. And the promo girls all smiled. They smiled like they steal merch, and now their promo managers like checking up on them. So they were giving out more. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I'm just assuming all of this. But the way they looked at me, like, oh, thank you. You know, it was kind of nice. And so that's what I'm talking about. Putting out good vibes. Now, I'm not saying the same thing is gonna happen to me. People are still gonna try to pull the wool over your eyes. But I'd rather live putting out a good vibe and just in a good mood, a good vibe with anybody and everybody. Why be sly? Why always try to screw people over? I don't get it. And I don't understand it. And it really upsets me. But back to actually, and so there's something I wanted to say. Oh, that's just something I wanted to say. But that rant is over. Look here. I know it's hard to be there. You can't actually be at their workshops. You can't actually see what they're doing. But before you send it in, know your car. Know what's going on there. Take a picture of this. Take a picture of this. Make sure you see everything. So when you get it back, you can just look at the picture, look at the car, and go, wait. Check here. What happened with this part? Why is it changed now all of a sudden? And that's just that. But there is something I want to watch, and I saw a small piece of it, and I think it's hilarious. So um, let's check it out. So this is Chris D'Elia, the comedian, who I think is super funny. He does the Congratulations podcast, which is actually one of my inspirations to do my own little show. Sorry. Remember I said still a bit sick. I mean, I'm coming off it though. And I saw a small piece of this, and I have to watch it again. Well, not again. I have to just watch this because I think this is so funny. This is so good. And whoever wrote the lyrics, if it was him, genius.
Of course I'm on torrent. I'm driving a Porsche over the floorboards, over the floorboards, while you're in a Ford Taurus, getting an abortion and a divorce at the same time. The hair is affording. Look what I'm planning. I'm planning to do all this while you're panicking, and you're looking and staring at mannequins, and I'm going to Fannikins trying to get up a Plannikins. All of the Plannikins, Fannikins. What all the mannequins, Fannikin, in the cabana. I'm in a cabana in the Janet. I'm in a cabana chanting on a stand-up banner. Well, you don't got the stamina, you're lacking the stamina. You're lacking the stamina while you're divorcing Harrison Ford, and I'm in a Porsche and floorboards while I'm on torrent.
Oh my
You're using way too many napkins, papkins, lapkins and japkins. You use the chapstick and napkins while I'm papkin. Flapping around like a papkin. Flamming a babbing pan and japkin. Damn it again, a benefit. Of course I'm on torrent. I'm driving a Porsche over the floorboards.
Oh my goodness.
Floorboards.
I didn't do that.
Getting an abortion and a divorce.
I think that started over. Oh my goodness. What? He's one of the funniest Eminem impersonations I've ever heard in my life. And you know what's funny? He never used to rap like that. And then he started rapping like that after a while. But that is hilarious. I'm gonna watch it again. Because actually, like I said, I did music. I still do music. And I mean, I am a rapper. So Eminem is obviously the best that there's ever been. But, so like, especially because of the way he rhymes, he says like, you know, he has the same rhyming inflections on words that don't even rhyme. And so that's why I said whoever wrote this, if it was him, that's genius, you know. Something about, what did he say? Driving a Porsche over floorboards in a foreign car. I don't know. It's good, but I want to watch it again. That's super good.
Same time the hair is affording. Look what I'm planning. I'm planning to do all this while you're panicking, and you're looking and staring at mannequins, and I'm going to Fannikins trying to get up a Plannikins. All of the Plannikins, Fannikins. What all the mannequins, Fannikin, in a cabana. I'm in a cabana in the Janet. I'm in a cabana chanting on a stand-up banner. Well, you don't got the stamina, you're lacking the stamina. You're lacking the stamina while you're divorcing Harrison Ford, and I'm in a Porsche and floorboards while I'm on torrent. You're using way too many napkins, papkins, lapkins and japkins. You use the chapstick and napkins while I'm papkin. Flapping around like a papkin. Flamming a babbing pan and japkin. Damn it again, a benefit. Of course.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And at the end, he's just like hitting that gibberish. Oh man, I needed that. After that whole mechanic discussion. I really needed that. That was good. Chris D'Elia is super funny. A lot of people thought you couldn't really do sort of a one-man show type thing, where a one-man podcast, unless you like Dan Carlin or something, a guy who he's speaking about history, hardcore history. I know Mark Maron does one as well, and he's quite big, but he also does interviews. I mean, he had Obama on there and things, but that's just fantastic. Something I want to talk about, and I really didn't care too much for it. That's my phone. I didn't really care too much of it because I was once like a super fat, not super fat, but I was very chubby and stuff. And I was very chubby and things, and so, but there's always that change in life. Sometimes the people who are the jocks or ripped and stuff in high school, you look at them later on in life, 10 years later, and you go, whoa, what happened to you? Walking around with the dad bods and the dad hats, and they looking at, and then a guy like you or me, who's the type of person who was kind of like not that popular, not that cool, was kind of shunned, and then when they see you later on and they go, oh, what? And you see how their faces light up, and I go, but you the same guy who was like trying to bully me and all these type of things. But anyways, so because I have experience with being chubby and big and stuff, I know that how it feels. I know how it feels. It's not good when people. There's a certain level where you aren't helping anymore. Where you have issues of your own, and now you're trying to like bring out somebody else's thing. There's a lot of that going on as well. Oh no, you should lose weight. You should do this. You should do that. I'm only saying this because I'm sick actually, and I'm eating the wrong things. And although I'm not fat, I don't feel good. Every morning I'm waking up with stomach cramps and back pains and kidney failure. So when you see a lot of these people, they pointing and pushing at you being overweight and stuff, it's normally because I mean, this is like the one thing I've been speaking about constantly over maybe the last 3 videos, because it's the same thing in every area. So let's look at it this way. Fat shaming doesn't always work. But here's the other thing. If you are healthy, if you are able to just walk somewhere, if you're able to walk to the fridge, already you have no excuse to then take a walk around the block. And I know this because when I was just becoming more aware. I was finding more awareness and things. And what happened was, once I started realizing, hey, I can actually do something somewhere. Sorry about the knocking in the back. I told you, it's the same thing they're building at my house. But I mean, it's not that bad. I started realizing that the excuses I was making was getting shorter and shorter and shorter. The more I was, because you have good friends and they say, dude, let's go, let's run, let's take a jog before we go out or something, because everything was always based on going out. So it's like, let's go for a run. Why not? Let's go for a run. That's going to be awesome. Then you go for a run and you're dying. As you're going down the block, you're dying. And you go, how can I do this? And then obviously that level hits where it's all just pure instinct now. You go into this Zen state and, you've given up back there already. You've given up completely. But your body's just going. Obviously, you got your friend in front of you. You're trying to catch up. But the more you start trying to do something, I mean, you can even just walk around the block. I mean, I used to walk around the block, all the time. So the goal wasn't exercise, but that's, your body is moving. Your body must move. I mean, this is the other thing that I always say about when it comes to exercise and movement and things. People are so quick to say everything, but you were moving before you could even speak. When you were in the womb, you were kicking. Oh, feel my stomach. He kicked. Oh, must be a soccer player. There's all these things. You're moving before you can even speak. Before you really even thinking, your body's moving. And then everybody, they teach you how to walk, and everybody supports you, and you're walking and you're falling over, and they're like, oh, you can do it. Come here, walk over here. And you got these babies walking, and what happens with that baby after a while? That baby starts walking. He starts holding on to things. From walking, he starts running, and you're like, whoa, look how you run, look how you run. Those same kids grow up, and they're playing on jungle gyms, and have you seen a kid on gym rings? They can do pull-ups, they can do anything. All from, not even from crawling, all the way now they can do all these things. And then, obviously, there's other things that happen. You get put in a classroom. Then now all of a sudden the teachers are telling you, don't move. Stop moving around in your seat that much. Concentrate. And this whole other thing starts taking over where all of a sudden now nobody's moving. Now everybody's speaking because now the mind is now expanding, and you have a voice now so you can speak. And everybody just forgets movement completely. And then they start wondering, hey, why am I feeling depressed? Why am I putting on all this weight? Why don't I feel the same as when I was a kid? And then, they love to use that whole term. Oh, when I was younger, I used to be able to run this and do that. And it's like, you can still do it. You're just stopping yourself. So my point about the whole thing is, I was looking at this article over here. So this is a comedian. Honestly, in like my honest opinion, I have no idea who she is. I have no cooking clue. I've never seen any of her work and anything. I was literally just walking past. Me and my two friends were walking in the Spa, which is one of the shops, grabbing some items because we were having a braai, which is a barbecue if you don't know. And I walked past the shop. So this you can see is 20th of August 2018. So this was about 11, well, let's say about 14 days ago. So about 2 weeks ago. I was walking past and I saw it there, and it's like Tash gets bashed. And immediately when I saw the picture, I knew it was a fat shaming thing. And I knew she was going to there was some sort of outrage and some sort of stance on it. And the whole thing was she was doing some sort of campaign for some fast food thing where she was eating some sort of chicken wing. And then she was saying it was for Women's Day. I mean, you can read you. And then you see in the comments they were saying, hey fatty, boom boom. That was one of them. Now I know why there are so many children starving in Africa. Okay. Another one was, hello, is that Tash? You Tash with a, what? Is that Tash? Your Tash with a bone stash in her mouth. She hungry like a lion. Oh, okay, so Hungry Lion is a restaurant chain, like chicken and stuff. Hungry like a lion. That's how their thing goes. Because we are in Africa. And then, okay, so I can obviously understand if people are saying that. But like I said in the beginning of all of this, these people they're dealing with their own things, and they're trying to push that onto you, And the real issue with the whole thing is that you're reading the comments. People sitting behind a screen, typing away. It's like there's no, what's the word I'm looking for? There's no, I'm gonna edit this thing back, and I'm gonna be so upset. Oh yes, there's no consequences for it. Shout out to good coffee, good clean coffee, just black, no milk, no sugar. That bitterness, is to give you a bit of that. But anyways, these people there's no consequences for you saying these things online, and nor should there be. Like, if people post, if they in your comment section they say a whole lot of things. I mean, just don't read it. Post. What did they say? Post and drop. You post something and you drop your phone, or you close the laptop or whatever. And then this is what she said about it. She said, "When I saw the post, I broke down and cried for hours. I was emotionally torn. I've been rejected my whole life and endured years of bullying because I was not what people found to be the norm." 32, like, now let's look at this. A 32-year-old, Chatsworth is somewhere here in South Africa, I'm not even sure. If you're a 32-year-old, you're still very young. You know, they say you only reach your prime, like your body's prime, from about 30 to 34. The body reaches its prime. First of all, I don't mind people being big and stuff. That's not the point here. The point is this, is that when you are, like, when you truly love yourself, you know, which in this day and age is rare for people to actually love themselves. But when you love yourself, you don't mind. Hey, I know so many people who have huge, like, stomachs and stuff, and, you know, they own it. It's who they are. So, you know, they'll beat themselves on the tummy and stuff and be like, yeah, you know, I got an extra 6-pack of beers, and maybe deep down inside, actually, you know, it's tormenting them. But at the same time, they're okay with it. It's who they are. The moment it starts hitting you deep, the moment you start feeling depressed and stuff about it, that's when you know not even you like it. Because now these people are hitting a nerve. And if they start hitting a nerve, it means that's just how you feel about yourself. And you don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear it. So you try to shut that out as much as you can. And when you hear it, all of a sudden now you're breaking down emotionally and a pity party starts. No, can't these people just leave me alone? I've been bullied my whole life about this. You're 32 years old. Get your stuff together, you know? And you're in the public eye. You're doing shows, you have the resources. Some people don't have the resources. You do, but yet you choose to play the victim card. When this is the thing, when human beings put their minds to something, truly put your mind to something, then, I mean, how many stories do you see online about people just having crazy transformations? But this is the issue. She's lazy. It's just that. And cool, be lazy then. But at the same time, if this is how you feel about when people say these things, it means that you don't like the way you look. And you're finding a way to push everything away. And when it actually comes out, now you want to say it's emotionally done this. Everybody's broken. But, oh man, I just ruined that whole quote, man. It came to me quickly. But, I mean, everybody's broken, but that's how the light shines in. That's the quote. But anyways, I just feel people are so quick to use the whole, I'm depressed, and there are truly people who are depressed and truly people who are broken. But I feel there's this whole genre now of people, and I see it in music, I see it in everything. People are starting to use this thing of, I'm also depressed, guys, look at me, I'm broken. And so then all those other people who are truly broken go, oh, wow, look at you, you're just like me. And you know, their clout goes up, they get more followers, and I see it in the music, I see it everywhere, to be honest. And so a lot of people are trying to play this card. But at the same time, if you're a strong person, you're a comedian, you're up there, you're not, first of all, if you're a comedian and you're that big and you're doing shows and stuff, it means you don't even really care what people say. I mean, you know how you look, and there's some part of you that's okay with it, but then when people start actually calling you out for it, now it's fat shaming and stuff. Fat shaming works, because I can guarantee you, I did MMA, so I was ripped and stuff. Stop training, stop doing all those things. Can't tell you why, and I'm slowly getting back into it. As soon as my brother says, "Oh, I can see your fat stomach," I can feel it. It hits me. I'm like, "Oh, that sucks." But it only sucks because it's true, and it's not how I want to look. So, what does it do? Obviously, like I said before, it's not. Some people, you shouldn't even listen to them. But there are some people who will be honest with you, and in that way it works. So, that's that. Exciting week, though. Very exciting week coming up. We've got the UFC this weekend. Wow, I'm so excited for it. Let's just have a look at the main event, because, wow, this is one of the most anticipated fights that I've been waiting for a long time. Obviously, Conor vs. Khabib that's 2018 for me. There's two things about 2018. It's the word clout. I feel it's come onto the map like that. Actually, let me actually see what Google has to say about the word clout, because it was never used before. You know what I mean? And this year, people have just been saying clout, 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 clout. So, which I know what clout means, or I think I know what it means. It means your level of influence and power. So if you have a lot of clout, you have a lot of influence, and you have a lot of power. And that's why people like to clout chase. So they'll mention your name in this. I mean, even myself, I'm clout chasing people on these videos, because I'm bringing up the Harvey Weinstein stuff. I'm dropping, it's like name dropping, because I know that'll bring in those people who have their eyes on that, and you know how it works. There's a system to it. But let's just see what Google has to say. Okay, so let's check it out. Let's see what Google has to say. Cloud definition is what I typed in. Sorry if it lags a bit. I mean, like I said, some days you have a bit of hiccup here and there, but at the same time, I'm not gonna let it stop me. I do have decent internet. Okay, so there's two definitions. The one is a heavy blow with a hand or hard object. Oh, so when you clout someone, like smack someone, that one I know of. A clout around the ear, I get that one. It's been a long time since I've heard something like that. And then influence or power, especially in politics or business. I knew she carried a lot of clout. Okay. An archaic mend with a patch. He helps the woman clout their pants. So I mean, there's many different definitions for it. But anyways, there's two things of this year that was super big for me, and that was the word clout and Conor McGregor versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. I don't know if I've ever been that excited for a fight in my life before, because I think Conor's one of my favorite fighters of all time. But on this one, I'm always rooting against Conor when it comes to these fights, in all honesty, because when I was fighting, I always saw myself as that type of fighter, because, I can say things, I'm great on the mic, I always saw myself at these press conferences, and then when he came along, I was almost jealous, because it was almost like he took something that's me, and now he's doing it. But I mean, that guy worked so hard to get where he is, and, I have respect for the guy, but I do feel that Khabib is probably one of the best fighters of all time, just the way he dismantles people. But that leads me to this next thing, where this is maybe the second most anticipated thing for this year, and that's Darren Till versus Tyron Woodley. I just want to run through the first stare down ever because I laugh my head off for this. I really do. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Just, when it's intensity and both guys know, look here, this is not going to be easy. It's crazy. Let me just show you. So this is it right here. You've got. Let me just back this up actually. I don't know why I spoiled that like that. But, anyways. Try to get this all the way back. Okay. Look, first of all, Darren Till is a huge guy. He's giant. I mean, that's the thing about weight cutting. It's almost just so unfair. And I know Joe Rogan also spoke of it's like cheating, which is technically it's true because it's like it's like fighting a little kid. Even the kid could train for 20 years. Well, that doesn't really make sense, but someone could be more. Say a kid started training at like 3 years old, karate or something, and now he's 12 years old. That's like 9 years of training. And then you just a big guy who's like 20 years old, and you have no fighting experience at all. This kid is going to have a lot of things that he can do to you. But once you get a hold of him and you hit him once, he's done. So I always look at weight cutting like that. I always look at weight cutting like this weird, it's like cheat codes, Now I'm going to type this cheat in and I'm going to have more life and more height and more strength. But anyways. Look at Dana White's face. Oh my goodness. It's one of the more hilarious things. Because he knows, you see, he's got his arms out like that, trying to get in between. But he's not stopping anything. First of all, Woodley's a giant. Tyron Woodley, he's a small guy, but I mean, he had to stand next to me. He's an intimidating guy. I mean, look at Dana's face. Oh my goodness. Whoa, whoa, whoa. But first of all, Till doesn't care. I mean, look at the size of Till's arms. And Woodley, I think Woodley recognized here. Because I don't think that's the thing about why I love the face off, the stare down, is because you've got, say for instance they were in the back somewhere together before the press conference, and he sort of looks over. There's a lot of things that go through your mind like, hey, that guy's quite tall, he's quite big, but you don't really know what's happening until that guy is standing in front of you, and it's like that old Irish stance, where they've got the arms out like that. That's all framing. Nate Diaz and Nick Diaz do it a lot. You frame out like this and makes yourself look giant and big, especially when you're the taller guy. And you see it here, but I mean, look at Dana's face though. Because he has no chance. He almost remind me of, what's that other dude's name? Who, when John Jones and Cormier fought. Schneider, I don't know what his name is. That guy, I don't know what his name is. Tell me in the comments. There, Dana just recognized, okay, I'm done here. But look how hard Woodley is biting down on his jaw. Because he realizes this is intense. Until he's like a stoic dude. Look at Dana. Have a seat, boys. Like he's in control. He's like, have a seat. Oh my goodness, Dana White's one of the funniest people. You know who Dana White reminds me of? Spanky Ham from Drawn Together. I'm just saying about how he looks, and you guys can say where the other comparisons are between him and Spanky. But look at Woodley when he shakes Till's hand, because that's the other thing. He recognizes that look here, you have to shake someone's hand. If normally the guy who doesn't want to shake, they have more in them that they keep, or they fear more. Not fear. It's just the moment is more intense for them. But look at how he shakes his hand. He almost throws it away. Like it's a strong shake, and he throws it away. Like, get away from me. It's basically the same as not shaking someone's hand. Watch. You know what I mean? Like, ugh. And that for me, right after this, Woodley, he asked them, give me a room, I need to start training. And I mean, obviously there you see Till with the one eye Illuminati type stuff. People do what they need to do, I guess. So, this is just one of the most intense fights. The second most intense fight of this year. Darren Till is a massive guy, and he's just got great everything, Trained in Brazil for so many years, has great stand-up. I think he did more damage to Wonderboy in the long run of the fight. I know there was the one part where Woodley did drop him and break his nose with the elbow, but like that was one moment in time. Whereas Till was, they were landing on each other. Obviously, Wonderboy didn't really affect Till that much. I think there might have been a left hand at one point where Till kind of, put him down on his heels. But I feel Darren Till's got this one. I feel he's just too big, he's too smart. I feel, what I'm going to compare it to is the Tyron Woodley versus Rory McDonald. And I know Woodley said he had flu or whatever for that fight, where he was almost frozen in the corner. But I just think Till, his presence is so big, and I think he's just going to... Woodley can throw those big shots, but Till's got great distance as well. And he knows that Woodley's got all this power. He knows it. So I can't wait for this weekend. Although I think they've botched the embedded. I don't know what that first UFC embedded was. Come on, guys. What are you doing? That was one of the worst embeddeds I've ever seen. And I'm not sure if they just don't have enough footage. So they took stuff from the Countdown show. And it's not... The embedded series has dropped. Honestly. Okay, look here. When Connor's involved in the embedded, then it's the McBedded. And then it's, it's great. But other than that, they need to do something else with that show, because at the moment it's just, I used to look forward to the embeddeds, and now I don't. Super excited for that fight this week. What I'm gonna do is, I haven't done this before, but I have watched the fight companions and stuff like that. It's just gonna be me, my friends, have some beers, some chicken wings, and I'm just gonna record our reactions to the card and upload that. I think it'll be fun. I've always wanted to do it, just because I have a lot to say during the fights, and a lot of the time when I'm actually watching the fight, I'll be like, there's a leg kick for him, and then the guy will throw the leg kick, and they always look at me like, how do you know that? And I'm like, because I can see it. And so that's just it. Super excited for this weekend. Another great episode. Thank you for watching. If you like what I'm doing, smash that like button, subscribe for more, ring that bell, bing, so you can be the first to watch it. This was another episode of the All Mikey Show. I am out. Boom. We did another one.